Welcome, friends, to another amazing video. Have you noticed something strange? Some of the biggest football nations on Earth have already packed their bags and gone home from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Brazil, Portugal, the United States, Mexico, Canada. Teams that millions of fans expected to go much further. So, what exactly happened? Today we're breaking down every major elimination FIFA World Cup 2026. Who knocked them out? What was the final score? And why did so many favorites crash out earlier than expected? Trust me, one of these results might be the biggest shock of the entire tournament. Let's explain everything in under 5 minutes. Let's start with the biggest headline. Brazil. Nobody expected Brazil to leave this early, but football doesn't care about predictions. Brazil faced Norway in the round of 16. On paper, Brazil looked stronger. In theory, they had more stars, more history, and 5 World Cup trophies. In practice, Norway had Erling Haaland. Norway played with incredible discipline, defended patiently, and punished Brazil on the counterattack. The final score was Norway 2, Brazil 1. One of the biggest upsets of the tournament. Fans around the world were stunned. It was a reminder that wearing a famous jersey doesn't guarantee anything anymore. Now let's talk about Portugal. For many fans, this World Cup was all about one question. Would this be Cristiano Ronaldo's last dance? Portugal reached the round of 16, but couldn't go any further. They lost to Spain after a disappointing performance, and were eliminated from the tournament. It was a heartbreaking ending for Ronaldo, whose World Cup journey likely ended without lifting football's biggest trophy. Sometimes football writes beautiful stories, sometimes it doesn't. Next up, the host nations. Hosting a World Cup usually brings excitement, but it also brings pressure. Canada entered the knockout stage with huge expectations from home fans. Then Morocco arrived. Morocco completely controlled the match and won 3-0. Canada's dream ended in front of their supporters. That's the cruel thing about knockout football. One bad day, and months of preparation disappear in 90 minutes. Now let's look at the United States. The U.S. hoped to make a deep run on home soil. Instead, they ran into Belgium. Belgium played with experience and clinical finishing. The result? A heavy 4-1 victory for Belgium. The score looked brutal because it was. The Americans simply couldn't stop Belgium's attack, and their World Cup journey came to an early end. Here's where it gets interesting. Mexico and England produced one of the most entertaining matches of the entire tournament. It had drama, goals, red cards, everything. England eventually won 3-2, knocking Mexico out in a thriller that kept fans on the edge of their seats until the final whistle. If you like chaotic football, this was your kind of game. One more surprise. Colombia faced Switzerland. This sounds simple, it isn't. Neither team could find the winning goal during normal play, so the match went all the way to penalties. Switzerland held their nerve and won the shootout, sending Colombia home. Penalty shootouts are basically football's version of a coin flip, with a lot more pressure. If you enjoyed this quick football breakdown and want simple explanations of World Cup rules, rankings, formats, and the biggest football stories, make sure you subscribe. There's plenty more football to explain.